Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Encore Podcast. I am your host, Michael C. Brown, and I am super excited. We got a student here, everybody, from Winters Mill High School. Miss Olivia Pollard is here today. Olivia, thank you so much for being on the Encore Podcast. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Look, we've been trying to get this together for I don't know, man. It seems like months, right?
Yeah.
Because I know initially it might even been in the fall that you originally came to me and said that you wanted to be on the podcast, and the holidays came around, and then snow days came around, and then different things happened, and now we are finally here on the podcast. I told you I would get you on, so hopefully you believe me. So I'm going to give you an opportunity just to introduce yourself, your name, class, age, and we'll get into some other things a little bit.
Okay, I'm Olivia Pollard. I'm class of 2026, and I'm 15.
All right, the big 1-5. When's your birthday, Olivia?
May 4th.
So it's going to be coming up before the end of the school, so we'd be the big 1-6. You got any plans for the 16, Sweet 16?
No plans yet.
No plans yet.
Plans coming up.
Do you make the plans for your birthday, or do your parents just go all in, or you tell your parents what they need to be doing?
I kind of just make the plan myself, and then I bring it to my parents, see if it's okay.
They gotta give you the thumbs up.
Yep.
Okay, all right. That sounds perfect. So, talk a little bit about some of the activities that you're involved in here at Winters Mill.
I'm vice president for our class. So that's like a big role for everything we're planning. We're starting to plan prom and everything now for senior year. I'm a 3-sport athlete.
3 sports.
I
Mr.
play
Brown was too in high school, so that's good. I love that.
I play field hockey, basketball, and lacrosse.
Okay.
I just started field hockey this year. I've been playing soccer the majority of my life,
Okay.
but I just changed because I wasn't loving it anymore. I played basketball this year. I didn't play last year.
Okay.
I played rec when I was younger, so I just kind of did it, stay in shape for lacrosse,
Yeah.
which is coming up.
Mhm.
I'm so excited for lacrosse.
Yeah. So with the sports, I mean, I know field hockey is a lot different than soccer, even though footwork and stuff, I'm sure that really helps out a lot. How difficult was that transition for you this fall?
Being an athlete, it was kind of easier because of the positions. They're a little similar to soccer with defense, midfield, and offense. So it was a lot of fun, transitioning into it, having leaders from varsity bringing me into the team and just making me feel welcome to a new sport.
Yeah. You think you're gonna stick with it in the future?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. And you were right now in the middle of, everybody doesn't know, we're in the middle of basketball season. So how is basketball season going for you?
Basketball's a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work.
I see you guys on social media. You guys be having fun.
Keeping us in shape. Yeah, it's a lot of fun with the team. It's a good family.
Yeah. And then you're looking forward to also lacrosse. And how long you've been doing lacrosse?
I think it's my 11th or 12th year of playing.
And you've only been alive for 15 years. So that seems like a very long time.
It's definitely my favorite because of how long I've been playing, and
yeah,
just it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you out there. So, we always ask people reasons why they want to be on the podcast, because I'm not about just clout chasers and people that just want to get on there to get some more followers. So why I know why you wanted to be on the pod, but kind of explain to the audience why you wanted to be on the podcast and focus on the area of mental toughness in sports.
I wanted to be on the podcast to bring awareness to the mental toughness through athletes, especially in high school. It's a big transition for athletes to balance school and sports, because you basically have sports right after school. And then you're tired when you go home and you have to do your homework or any missing work that you have. It's a big transition. It was a big transition for me freshman year. So I just wanted to bring awareness to it because not a lot of people know about it, and some people don't feel seen with it.
Yeah, yeah. Do you feel as though like being an athlete, and I know from being in high school that it's kind of like a different world, so to speak. And the school year
Yeah.
goes like super fast because you're practicing pretty much every day.
Yeah.
You're having games when you're not practicing. You're moving one sport to the next. So you really don't have time to really kind of breathe and soak in anything. It's like, all right, school year starts and then it's over. You know what I mean? And then next thing you know, the 4 years go by super quick too. But I just remember like scrambling as a student to try to get assignments done. I mean, you're getting home, just so people know, explain to them like your normal day. So you're waking up super early. Like what time do you typically are getting home to even do schoolwork?
Usually practice ends around like 5:30. So it's like I'd say 10-minute drive back to my house.
Yeah.
So I'm home by 6. I still have to shower. I have to eat.
Yeah.
I have to do all my homework, and sometimes it's like projects.
Yep.
So it really depends on the homework. Sometimes I have none, which I'm lucky when I have none.
Yeah.
I just get to relax and then, get ready for bed and just sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but it's hard to, on those days. I mean, typically you're trying to go to bed like at a decent hour so you can wake up early.
yeah.
But sometimes you probably have to stay up a little bit later to do schoolwork and stuff like that, more so than somebody else that's getting home at 3 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Especially on like game days,
Mhm.
because once you're out of school, you want to focus on the game and just hang out with your friends and not really focus on schoolwork. You want a little break in between there.
Right.
So then JV plays, varsity plays. You get home around, it depends on the drive, but you get home around like 8:30, 9, and you're tired.
Yeah.
You're not doing that schoolwork.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just hard to do sometimes. You got to force yourself to stay responsible on your schoolwork because you have to have good grades to play sports.
Right.
And
That's
have
part
fun
of
with
it. You can say that again. You need good grades to play sports. So the mental toughness part, how do you persevere through some of these difficult times where you don't want to do certain things, like in your mind, you're like, man, I really don't want to go to practice today, or like, I really don't want to do this homework assignment. Like, how do you get yourself in a positive place to do some of those things? Like, what are the things? You have a support group? Like, what is support chat group? What do you have?
My main support group is definitely my family,
Okay.
my mom, my dad, my brother.
Okay.
Freshman year, a lot of tears.
Yeah.
Coming home, having to do work. I'm tired. But you kind of just gotta like push yourself through it.
Yeah.
You gotta push through school, through sports, and if like you're having a bad day and you have to go to practice, it's definitely so much harder to go to practice and push yourself through it because you're kind of running the whole time, you're tired, and like mistakes are really hard to get through sometimes.
Yeah.
Something my mom taught me is just be like a goldfish because they don't have brains that remember stuff. So you just gotta have your mistake and then push through it.
Yeah.
And then tell yourself you're going to do better on the next try.
Yeah.
Definitely with sports, games are hard sometimes. Making mistakes are hard to get through because like even if you're losing by a lot, it's so much harder.
Yeah.
Because it's like hard to be uplifting to yourself and then also to other teammates because you're in a bad mood, you're losing by a lot, and it's just hard to get through.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's fair, and I think that it's in sports, the most difficult thing is the grind of every day, and especially if this season isn't going up to the level of expectations that everybody wants it to be. It's hard for everybody to stay positive, teammates not to turn on each other, become negative.
Yeah.
and focusing in on all those negatives. Well, you dropped the ball, or you did this, and it's like that can just make it a very difficult time to get through. So staying positive, and being mentally tough to get through those things. Because again, you could have a bad season this season, and next year you could go undefeated. So it's just like, how do you, you know what I mean? How do you stay positive and not quit the team? Like, I'm not going, we're terrible. And then next thing you know, they go undefeated. Like, man, I should have played. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I've seen that happen over the course of time. So I think that's huge. When you're talking about sports that you play, just give me an example of, out of the three, the one you probably love the most, and why? Why is that?
I definitely love lacrosse the most. I play I play at school and I play club too.
Okay.
For Renegades in Frederick.
Shout out to the Renegades. Yeah.
I've had the best experience there. I switched teams in 8th grade, 7th grade, somewhere around there. The coaches are the best. I definitely have gone through mental toughness, like call it like breaks, I guess.
Yeah.
With sports, and I brought it to my parents. My parents brought it to my coaches, and my coaches pulled me aside in practice and just like talk to me about it. They're fine if you're crying, if you're like angry about something. They're fine with whatever emotion you have, just to like bring it up to them because they can help with it.
Yeah.
And then also like my teammates, they're so fun to be around. They're like my best friends.
Yeah.
Being with them and traveling to tournaments are definitely such an experience with club. It's fun to it's fun to have like a good group of girls to be with, because they're all so positive, and once you get close with people, they can be more positive to you. So it's just great because even like high school sports brings you a lot of friends in different age groups.
Yeah. How do you balance being on like two different teams? So say the Renegades are doing phenomenal. You guys are whipping everybody's butt.
Yeah.
And then maybe you come to Winner's Mill and that's not happening. How do you manage that aspect of it, even though you're competing and you want to do the best for both your high school and your club team?
Our club team is very balanced. We have a lot of 2-sport, 3-sport athletes, maybe even one.
Yeah.
So in the fall, we have practices because we have tournaments in the fall.
Yeah.
So it's like once or twice a week, practices for club, but it's on like the weekends.
Yeah.
So it works out with high school sports. In the winter, we don't do as much because there's no tournaments.
Yeah.
It's like every other week. People who can go to those, because a lot of us are doing track or basketball.
Yep.
Or wrestling. And in the spring, we don't do anything because we have our main focus on high school.
Gotcha.
Because you're having practice every day.
Yeah.
And then in the summer, it's
pretty constant.
Yeah, it's pretty constant in the summer because we have tournaments all summer.
Yeah.
But balancing it with our high school sports, it's nice to have like that break of club, but also it's so fun like being back with club, being back with like our group, because we're a pretty solid group together. It's
Do you play against those girls? Like, so are there girls that are on the Renegades and then like maybe they're on like Westminster and then you like Westminster team and then you have to like play them, and like how's that feel going against a teammate that you love and then you like out there, trying to win? You know what I mean? Like how does that go?
Going against my teammates in sports are so fun. We usually go against Oakdale.
Yeah.
It's just fun competition. In practice, we're even going against each other, so it's a pretty normal thing.
Okay.
But it's a lot of fun to go against teammates in high school sports.
So they knock you down, they help you get in. All right. So, what is your overall like experience like? Just name a situation that since you've been here that you've had to persevere through and show your mental toughness? Like, can you remember one thing more so than another that you really had to like persevere through?
So
It's fine.
uh
Or it could be, a teammate or somebody that that had to persevere through something. Because I know you mentioned earlier about, um, you know, crying and these type of things, like after, like your freshman year. Like, does any one of those experiences like stick out to you? Like, what was upsetting you at the time? Like, was it not doing well balancing, both? Was it just exhaustion from doing too many things? Like, what was that one thing that really drove you to tears and being upset and having to
is
persevere through
yeah,
it?
it was definitely exhaustion through sports and school. Because I have high expectations for myself in sports. Um, I like to do the best that I can, and if I know I'm not doing the best I can, it brings me down mentally.
Yeah.
Because I try and do my best, like for the team, for myself, for my coaches, whoever.
Hmm.
Um, so just like going to practice, working my butt off, doing my best, and then coming home, I'm tired. Maybe I didn't do so good at practice.
Hmm.
It just brings me down mentally a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of teachers don't really think of that in that aspect. Maybe they didn't play sports in high school. Maybe they did, but they're not really bringing the aspect to mind
Yeah.
of having to go home after practice and like still doing schoolwork. Because
Yeah.
there's no break. You get out of school, you get ready for practice, you're at practice. You come home, no break, do your schoolwork, eat,
Yeah.
shower, go to bed.
Yep.
It's like,
So on repeat. Yep.
yep.
So on repeat. Yeah. And that trust me, I know what it I know what it feels like. Um and like I said, you get the small joys of like, maybe you have a fun practice or, team dinners and these different things that kind of make it fun. But and you also share, what I also find out is that you share in like um I don't know, it's like other people going through the same things, right? So I may know somebody else that plays three sports. And so we're going through it. I'm like, man, aren't you tired? I'm dead tired. I'm like, I know. And it's like, knowing that you're not the only person that's going through it, um, I feel as though helps you mentally
Yeah.
to get through something. Because when you feel like you're alone and you're the only person that's going through it, it's really tough.
Mhm.
But when you have other people that kind of share in that, and they could be positive, because some people can be negative. So you be like, man, this sucks. I know it does suck. And I'm not doing this again. I'm going to quit next week. And you're like, I should quit too. You know what I mean? But that's like
Yeah.
negative feeding negative.
Mhm.
But a lot of times you have somebody breathing positivity into your life, then you can't help but to be positive. Because, even when you're running sprints or whatever, there's somebody could say something that's like funny and like get through
Yeah.
the difficult time that you're like actually going through. So I love the fact that well, I don't love the fact that you've gone through some difficult things that
Yeah.
makes me sad, but it does make me happy that to know that you persevered through those things and you're still doing the things that you love to do.
Yeah.
I think that's attributed to you and your parents. Shout out to the parents, because I know they're like, what are you talking about? I'm the one that was like wiping the tears and like doing all this stuff. Like, so I want to give shout out to your parents and your family for helping you through, and your other coaches on your other teams, because it does take really a village of support for one person to kind of persevere and get through things. So I think that's cool. When you're talking about balancing all these things, you have a pretty high GPA. I'm not gonna put it out there for the people, but it's pretty high. And like, so you're doing all these things, you're taking rigorous classes, you're doing all this stuff. How do you manage the classwork aspect of everything? Like, how do you do that? Do you have people like that a study group? Like, how do you make that an easier thing, transition for you?
For classes, Last year I struggled with it a lot, freshman year. I procrastinated a lot, so I would have a lot of
Procrastination.
I had a lot of missing work sometimes, and that made me feel very overwhelmed. This year I've brought it to myself to be responsible with my schoolwork, just doing it in class, doing it when I have the time to do it.
Yeah.
Because in class is basically free time to
Yeah.
do the work
Yeah.
that you're assigned.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing it, you're kind of just, I'm thinking about, oh, I'm going to have to do this later.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it kind of just,
That's not something you have time to do.
I don't want to do that, and I don't have time to do. So I kind of just, I've been keeping myself responsible this year to do my work in class, pay attention more, just kind of blocking out every like distraction, just kind of bringing myself in focus.
Yeah. Yeah. Staying locked in while you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Departmentalizing things. And that, I mean, that's a big thing, because I think that you all have access to a whole lot of information coming at you like all the time. And so if you don't set certain barriers, then your mind can go in like 1,000 different directions, and you can't be focused on one particular thing. It happens to me all the time, especially when you have a lot of stuff going on. Sometimes you just got to focus on, all right, I know, because you'll get started on something and you'll switch, and then whatever you started on never gets finished, because now you moved on to like other things. You come back, man, I never really got a chance to do it. Well, I'll do that tomorrow. Well, the reason why you started today is so you can finish it today.
Yeah.
Now it's tomorrow because you haven't been able to focus. So I think that's really a key point of like how you can really focus your time and your energy on that one specific thing while you're doing it, and staying like in the moment and staying locked in. So I think that's something you can put on a seminar for everybody in school, so they can actually learn some things from you, because that's a big part. Distractions are huge, and why a lot of kids don't do well in school or balance them, because they cannot stay focused. For the love of them, they cannot stay focused. So that's big. I always ask this question of everybody. It is, at Winter's Mill, we're about passion, purpose, pride. And I like to find out 3 things that you are currently passionate about today, and why.
I'm definitely passionate about lacrosse. Definitely. All sports all around, but definitely lacrosse. I want to go to college for lacrosse. It's like, it's been my dream since I was like little.
Since you were like since you were playing.
Since I was little, it's just been a big goal for me.
Yeah.
Not so much I guess a dream, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to put it.
Yeah.
Goal, dream.
Goal, dream. It's both in the same thing, yeah.
I'm passionate about, is it like fine to say like my family, I guess?
Yeah. Of course. Shout out to the family I told you. Of course.
They're my support group, my rock, just like being with them. They all bring different values to me and to the family. It's just a good like support system to have.
Okay.
And I'm very lucky to have it, because not everyone has that.
Yeah.
And then probably school, because I like to learn. I like to learn new things. Maybe it's not my favorite thing, but I'm passionate about it because it brings out like work ethic and different things like that.
Okay.
That you can bring into jobs and to college or whatever you're doing.
That's cool. I think that's a solid 3 right there. You know what I mean? Lacrosse, school, and family. You could put that on a t-shirt. There you go. I love it. So we're going to get ready to wrap up. I do want to give you the opportunity, though, to share anything else that you wanted to share or you wanted to plug or anything else like that. So I'll give you time to do that if you had anything.
I just want to say to everyone, get a support group that you can trust and that you can always have, because it's a big part that can help you out with anything.
Okay. You heard it here first from Olivia. Um, you have to have people around you that love you, that care about you.
Mm.
And love is always a positive thing. It's never a negative thing. So you have people that you think love you in your life, and that are consistently bringing you negativity. That's not love, right? You want people that are around you that are bringing you that positive energy, that love to you all the time. And if you don't have that, then you need to look for it, because there is always somebody out there that loves and cares about you. So with that, Olivia, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I know it took a while, but we got it done, and we appreciate it. Just want to tell everybody else, that is a wrap. Uh, Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. We're going to continue to give you guys more of the content you want. Remember, Encore Podcast is where we give you more of the content you all want. I have more student guests. Maybe even Olivia can help me bring some more people on the pod for the near future. And also some people that are outside of that realm, more adults and such, and people that I think are interesting and have some more topics to talk about. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. That will give you notifications when we have new episodes that are coming out. So until then, I will see you guys again next time. Thanks.